Okay, right. Okay, ready. Chant our prayer. समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम् ॐ नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन रामप्रेमामृतेन. Now we'll chant 2 minutes Rama Bhajan. See, someone asked me, why you chant this bhajan and stotra beginning of your class? See, what happens is, it's Friday evening and we need to open up our mind. See, I remembered a joke. Now, what to do? I have to tell you now. One person went to a shop and he wanted to buy, those earthen pots. He went there. And then he looked everywhere and then he looked and then he was going out. The shopkeeper asked, why you didn't like any of my pots? He said, no, they are okay, but they are all upside down. I want a pot which the mouth is up. He said, sir, don't worry, just turn it up. So that is what we are doing. By chanting shloka, our mind, we are making it, opening it up for the prayer. That is the purpose of prayer. Open up our minds. Okay? So just 2 minutes.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Jaya Ram. नित्यावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की, बोलो वैष्णव संतन की, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की.
We are discussing dialogue between Parvati ji and Shiva. And Parvati gave a big question, 10 questions to Shivji. And then the last question was most sweet. Shiva was very pleased with it. He said, I have asked all these 9 questions, but don't just limit telling only these 9 questions. Whatever I have not asked and which you think I should know, please tell that also. See, that shows purity of a mind of student. It says, not to see how smart questions I asked, uh, not that type. But so Shiva was very pleased, and he's going to say it so very vividly. But in answering, he took the most fundamental question first, and that is about the Brahman and Jiva. And then what is this world that we see? And then he even went one step further. He said, forget Rama, but even this world that we see is dependent on a principle of existence. Now, if you're listening or getting to hear this for first time, this concept could be very hard. Uh, that what is this? What is the principle of existence? Hmm. Uh, See, I was discussing this with some Sanskrit scholar many years back, and you know how nicely he demonstrated that has stuck in my mind. He said, Arvind, we are having breakfast, and he was drinking milk. So he said, what is so difficult in understanding the nature of existence, that principle from which we all borrow that property from that super, what we call as consciousness? Why do you use some words? So you know what he did? From his milk, he just touched his finger and put one drop on the table. And he said, where was this drop before you saw it? Was it in existence or not? I said, no, it was not there. So he said, but existence principle was there. And without that, could it ever come in existence? I said, I still didn't follow it. So he said, I was having my bag. He said, Arvind, when you say I put one thing in your bag, so that bag has to be in existence first or not? Yes, that bag has to be there first. Then you can put in the bag. So when you say I put thing, this brought this thing into existence, what is that existence? That has to be present first, like my bag. Only then I can put things in my bag, isn't it? So that existence principle is there. So it's difficult concept to first to apprehend, but once you start thinking on it, it becomes very interesting. And that is the Sat aspect, Sat among Sat, Chit, Ananda. This is Sat is that aspect. Now again, aspect, I have to use some word. So it is not like mango's color is orange. So it's not that is property, it's nature. We're going to see more of it. But let's see what we just heard. We just listened to those Chopais last time. So he answers that question. He tackles that is first. Again, pay attention to this Chopai. This whole Ramcharitmanas is given in a sutra and vistar format. Means they give in formula first and then it explain more detail in the following verses. But the summary is given generally in the beginning of a subject. The first verse itself is the summary. Very useful if you are writing some project application, grant application. The those peer reviewers, they don't have much time. So they just read in the beginning. What is it? If you get this gist of it in the first paragraph itself, very useful. So this is also written in that. So Shivji is following the same principle, sutra, formula, and then more elaborate explanation follows. So let's chant those Chopais. Is on page 49, Chopai first.
झूठे सत्य जाहि बिनु जाने जिमि भुजंग बिनु रजु पहिचाने यही जाने जग जाई है राई जागे जथा सपन भ्रम जाई बंदऊ बाल रूप सोई राम सब सुलभ जपत जिसु नाम मंगल भवन अमंगल हारी द्रवहु सुदशरथ अजिर विहारी करि प्रणाम राम ही त्रिपुरारी धन्य गिरिराज कुमारी, तुम समान नहीं उपकारी। पूछे रघुपति कथा प्रसंगा, सकल लोक जग पावनी गंगा। तुम रघुवीर चरण अनुरागी, कीन्हु प्रश्न जगत हित लागी। राम कृपा ते पार्वती, सपने तव मन माही। शोक मोह संदेह भ्रम, मम विचार कछु नाहि। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय।
All right. So he says, "Jhoot ehu satya jaan jahi binu jaan." See, if you don't know the real truth, then whatever we see, that itself we call it as a truth. We get carried away by it. But then why do we see that? That is because this existence principle is given by the truth. I don't follow what you're saying. Let us say somebody is not telling us the truth. What that person says, I am telling you truth. I mean, although he's telling a lie, what he's trying to convince us that this is the truth I am telling you. So he is dependent on the concept of truth only. All these gangsters and everybody, they may be not doing very loyal work or good work, but they want their accountant truthful or not. they want their accountant to be honest. Mm. So the value for truth and value for honesty is there, but I want to see it in others, not in me. But that existence principle, because of that itself, you understand this false as a true. How so? So he gives example. Now this is a very famous example in Vedanta: Bhujanga and Rajju, snake and rope. Now see, it is not hallucination. See, hallucination, as what we see, is imaginary. There is nothing, and we kind of think like that. Some delirious, some not in. It is not like that. See, for you can think on it and write down the conditions if you want to contemplate. Write down the conditions in which this rope can appear as a snake. Rope has to be there. It could be a garden pipe, doesn't matter. It could be a crack on a road, it doesn't matter. Something has to be there, isn't it? Right. Then, if there is a complete darkness, we can't see. There has to be some light, but not enough to see clearly. Second condition. So you go on adding. There are 3 or 4 more. This will be a good homework. I remembered it. So it is good exercise. So it is, he's saying, Shankar Bhagavan is saying, what you are seeing is actually, means what? Whatever I am seeing is because the existence principle is there, the Brahman is lending his existence. Why do we see snake? Because the rope is there. Rope is giving the existence principle to this imaginary snake. That's what this rope is doing. And we are not understanding. Okay. That is means what? Whole world is Brahman, in other words. Whatever you are seeing is Brahman only. Now, and then knowing, if you know the rope, where would snake go? Where would it go? Anyone? Where would it go? When you see a rope, then what happens to the snake? It goes away. Now, goes away is a word we have to use some words. Where does it go? Where would the snake go? Which was not there, right? How can a thing which is not there go somewhere? Well, in that sense, Bhagavan is saying, knowing which the whole world will disappear in front of you. Like, again he follows by analogy, like a dream. Jage jatha sapan brahmaja. Like a dream. When we wake up, where would our dream go? What happened? All that $1 million I got in a dream. Well, you paid half of that, you paid taxes, and half of that gone. Uh, so this is what it is. But knowing that truth, all these my illusions go away. That is a truth principle. Hmm. Now see in this one, how many he has used pronouns? Ahi, Jimmy, knowing, not knowing which. The one who knows, Jimmy, one who knows rope, he knows the illusory snake. So how many he used the Jehi, Jata, but who is he? The question is knowing that truth principle, what is that? Now in next two lines, Bhagavan says, that is what I am telling you, Soi Ram. That is truth that I talked about, existence principle. That existence principle is Soi Ram. That is his name. See, he gives the Rupa, Rama, Bandhav Bal Rupa. He has remembered, Parvati ji said, I want to listen to more of Bal Kand. Right? She wanted to. So he said Bal Rupa. So Nam and a Rupa. Name and form. So now what is this word? Name and form. If you take away name and form, can you explain anything to anybody without this? No. Hmm. And that is so he is Shankar Bhagwan is very clear. That truth principle, because of this, the whole world is existing. Soi Ramu, that is his name, and he is the one who is sporting in Dasharath Maharaja's courtyard. Hmm. And he is bringing all the auspiciousness. This Mangal Bhavan Amangal Hari, very famous line. You must have heard it again and again, so many times. But this is the background of this. Okay. Now, next thing. He says, Girisha Kumari, you are so great. Question to Siddhaji, why you are calling Girisha Kumari so great? अभी तक what she कुछ किया भी नहीं उसने nothing she has done, she just asked you a question how come she suddenly become great. See, the guru understands your intentions and then deep within us just by the questions we ask, they know. And again, this story is going on a jnana ghat, on the path that where the Shankar Bhagwan Parvati they're going out of the 4 concurrent sessions going on in this Ramcharitmanas, we are on the path of this ghat, Jnana Ghat, right? So that's where Shankar Bhagwan did this very difficult Vedanta concept very first. But now he is congratulating Giriraj Kumari. How so? See, there's one very beautiful, wonderful textbook Adi Shankaracharya wrote that is called as Vivek Chudamani. Very nice book. There's 584 plus verses. And in that, the disciple asks, I mentioned to you last time, he asked him again similar questions. If you just substitute Rama to Brahman, he asked those questions about Brahman. And there also, Guru says what Shankar Bhagwan is telling Parvati. To the Shishya, after Shishya asks the question. You know what he says? Guru Ruvacha Dhanyosi Krutakrutyosi Pavitam Te Kulam Tvaya Yad Avidya Bandha Muktya Yad Avidya Bandha Muktya. That is how we'll break this word. Yad Avidya Bandha Muktya Brahmi Bhavitum Ichhasi. Oh, I congratulate you because now you want to know, you want to become Brahman by breaking all the bondages. So this reminds me of one incident in satsang. I may have shared with you earlier this story, but anyway, now I feel like telling you. So listen again. What is there? We are all gathered in the Guruji's room, and we're listening, and he was telling. And suddenly, those days, snail mail, all the mails would come in big pack. Somebody brought in the package. So he was curious. And then there was one big envelope. He took out the papers. So we were all in, what is it? And he said, this is good. So I said, what is good? So he said, somebody has collected some jokes and sent it to me, to Guruji. So we thought he was going to tell the jokes. So he started reading and not saying anything. And then he said, you have to read 50 or 60 jokes to get one good one. And then he said, this is good one. And he told this joke. You will say, Arvind, what is that joke has to do with Dhanya Dhanya Giri Raja Kumari Brahmi Bhavati Michasi? Pay attention. So he said, this is a good joke. He said, three uh, Panditas or three Darshana Shastras or three Vedanta scholars or three different religions they were saying, their question discussing, when does the life begin? When does the life starts? So one Pandit said, simple, after conception, when the Jiva Dharana, Phala Dharana comes, that's when the Jiva begins the life. He said, no. The next one said, about you. He said, no, when the mother delivers the baby, when the baby comes and cries, comes in the world, then the life begins. Okay. What is the third one? Third one says, life doesn't begin until your children are out into the college and you get back the house to yourself. That's when life begins. So now the beauty of satsang is, someone asked Guruji, what you would have answered if this question was asked to you? I'm so thankful to that person. So I said, what would have answered? And Guruji said, in my opinion, life begins when we have curiosity. I want to become Brahman. Then actually the life begins. Wow. And then he said, after that, it is Guru's responsibility how to make you aware of Brahman. All you have to do is stay with your curiosity. So that's what Bhagwan Shankaracharya is saying. धन्योऽसि कृतकृत्योऽसि पावितं ते कुलं त्वया यदविद्याबन्धमुक्त्या ब्रह्मी भवितुमिच्छसि. Now, one more viewpoint. It's good to think all this, Another viewpoint. Viewpoint is the teacher are so sure than we are that we are Brahman. So he said, just because we ask the question, they are very sure that we are going to get it. How so? See, if someone says, hey, where did your friend go? Where is he? He or she didn't come today. What do you say? Oh, she just went to India. Today only she went. She may be at the airport only, might not even cross the security line. But how sure we are that she has gone to India? Same way, when the disciple comes to Guru with true curiosity, the teacher is so confident. He said, I'm so happy that you have this question. These are so sweet. So he says, Tumu upakar nahi ko upakar. He said, you have done a great thing for others. So what is for others? Or Shankaracharya says, you have sanctified your whole generation, your family. How so? So he says, what you have asked is, instead of going to someone and asking for various scandals and this and that, or where to invest money, he is asking about Raghupati Katha Prasanga, and that brings Sakala Loka Jaga Pavani Ganga. Ganga river physically is flowing at one place. But because of Parvati, aren't we all now enjoying this Ramcharitmanas Ganga? It is said that Shankar Bhagwan had kept this composition of Ramayana with him for 27 crore years with him only. because nobody asked him. And because Parvati ji asked him, now he is saying he's eager to share it with someone. So that Ramayana Ganga, even now we are enjoying it today here. And so that's why Shankar Bhagwan says, Tuma samana nahi ko upakar. You have done a great favor to on all mankind. And truly indeed. Okay. Now we'll do the Dohan. He says, Rama Krupate Parvati. Because of this, teacher is so sure that if you contemplate on what I am telling you, on my advice, even in your dream, means at that point, my intellect is minimally functional, very minimum. And that's only to the dream part, little, not really, no editing capacity is there, but then some intelligence is there. Even in there, you will not get deluded. And what you do, Soka Moha Sandeha Brahma, in my opinion, you will not have any of this. Now, these four words, we are all familiar with it, right? On all our local languages, this is there. But then in Vedanta, they have their own meaning. Shoka is, we grieve, we repent, we say, oh, the bad, why this happened? We frustrated, various names. I don't have to tell you more about this. But what is, so let us see the rest of these four words. What is moha? Moha is total ignorance. I'm not even aware that I might be wrong. So sure, what is there to ask anybody? Of course I'm right. That is moha. Then what is Brahma? Brahma is delusion or misapprehension. That is Rajju Sarpa. It is called as Viparita Bhavana, a technical word. Those of you, I know some of you are following even Shankara Bhashya and Brahma Sutra Bhashya. So there you will find the word Viparita Bhavana. Means what? I'm seeing something, but that is exactly opposite to what it is. It's called Viparita Bhavana. And the Sandeha is doubt. How can I be Brahman? Means I'm not Brahman. That is asambhavana. Means I don't agree along with the scriptures. So for each of these specific pramana grantha, certain textbooks are recommended. So Guru knows what we have, what kind of doubts we have, what kind of understanding we have, and based on that, they recommend us the books accordingly. Anyway, but these you will not have at all. Okay. Now there is way of now. Let's move further. What if, in case I'm not? What is I'm of the first type? Moha. I mean, I don't even know that I'm wrong. I don't need to know. I'm not interested. So this is a style of Upanishad of this Ramcharitmanas that Guru told the essence in the first verse, first Chopais and Doha told. But then later on, the Chopais, will just see the essence of it. What Tulsidas is saying for that person who doesn't even want to verify, he is very confident, doesn't want to listen. He said, this Ramayana, I know what is Ramayana. No need to tell. I don't need to know what it is. So now see, Tulsidas was so soft spoken. He even did Vandana to bad people. We saw the Vandana chap thing. But when it comes to principle, he uncompromisingly, he doesn't mince words. He just says as it is. So very harsh words, and uh, I felt like omitting this chapter, these words. But then I thought, why should I omit? It is Tulsidas has used it, so I'm going to use this. It might, but fortunately, none of those apply to us because we are here. We are listening to Ramcharitmanas with lot of interest. So he says, those jna Hari Katha suni nahi kana. Their ears are Shravana Randhra. See, Sanskrit language is very unique. Word Randhra means where I enjoy that hole, that gap I see, that is opening also, and that's where I take rati. But then I don't want to listen to Harikatha, so those holes are as good a place for a snake to live. That Ahi Bhavana Samana. Now this is direct translation of from a verse in Bhagavata. In second canto it comes. Bhagwat Grantha, you know, all of you know. So in that is taken direct. I'm mentioning this just to make us aware the wide scope that Tulsidas ji has is bringing it in here, how he is. And again, this katha is on Jnana Ghat, so no wonder. So their ear, those who doesn't want to listen Hari Katha, their ears are as good as place for a snake to live. So if somebody not listening to Harikatha, there's a snake, you need a room to stay, go. That man's ear, you go stay there. That's what Tulsidas is saying. Then those who don't want to see saints, those who want to have their darshanam, their eyes, he says, they are like a peacock feather. See, in a peacock feather, there also one eye-like thing, right? But it's only a decoration. That's not a real eye. So he said, you may be Mayura Nayana, whatever it is, but it's useless. He says they are just buttons, like this more picture, like peacock feather. Lochana more panka karalika. Now one more. This is, I laughed and he said that head is like the bitter god. You know, the bitter god, this pumpkin, that doesn't want to touch the Guru's feet. Jena Namata Hari Guru Padamula. That sir, that head is not even a just gourd or pumpkin, bitter pumpkin. The choicest word Tulsidas is using. One more. And Hari Bhagati Hruday Nahi Ani. Those who don't have love for the God, he says, they are like they may be living, but they're already living like a dead bodies. Wow, very harsh word. But this is again direct translation from Kathopanishad. Jivata samasamanatei prani. In Kathopanishad, very nice Upanishad for sadhana. So Yamaraj telling Nachiketa that mrityosa mrityumapnoti. Not from birth to death. From one death to another death, they go. Those who look for something else, naneva pashyati, other than Brahman, they seek something else. They go from one death to the other death, not from birth to death, from death to death, they go. And one last one, those people who don't sing the glory of God, their tongue is like a frog tongue. They just do tar tar. Then that's what they do is useless. See, when I read 1, 2, 3, 4, all these Tulsidas ji is saying no mercy. And you must do Harikatha. And again, this is all so many Upanishads you can map. No? Anyway, with this somebody got convinced. Okay, Tulsidas ji. Okay. I'm willing to listen, but what will I get? What would he said? Are Ram Katha Sundar Kar Tali. With this, like in a birds, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to give this example very often. He said, all the birds, when you do just clap it, they go away, isn't it? So all my doubts will go away. Someone says, Tulsidas ji, I'm a unique case. My doubts are deep rooted and chronic. They won't go easily. In satsang, some people take, I don't know what happened. They tell Swamiji directly, Swamiji, I have asked this question to many Swamis. Now you try. Swami Akhandananda used to say, when someone used to come and tell him, he said, I never used to answer his question. He said, there is no difference between one guru and the other. If you don't have Shraddha, so just like that person's advice, you will discard my advice also. Why should I tell you anything? So anyway, what to do, Tulsidaji? I'm of that type, chronic. And some people are very unique. And this actually happened in one satsang. The Mahatma explained in various ways that is the existence principle is there, Brahman is there. But the person who said, Swamiji, what you say is right, but maybe there is some argument that which I am not aware. That argument will nullify your point. And that's why I don't agree. Now, what to do? So such is there. So, anyway, Tulsidas ji, anyway, not good or bad. Do you have any answer to this? Tulsidas ji. He says, Ram Katha Kali Bitapa Kudhari Sadhara Sunugiri Rajakumari. See, it is from directly from Bhagavad Gita. Bitapa is what? What a Vruksha is called? Bitapa. And Kudhari is axe. Kulhadi, Kudhari. See, the 15th chapter. Rupamasyeha tathopalabhyate nanto na chadir na cha sampratishtha. And what are the next words? Ashwatthamenam suvirudhamulam asanga shastrena drudhena kitva. So, the people tree, that is what Kali Bitapa, is Ashwatha Vruksha. There, the Sansara, our Sansara tree, is given as Ashwatha Vruksha, and his roots are well rooted. Suvirudha Moolam. Deeply rooted. That's why it's very difficult to get rid of this Samsara. Ashwatthamenam Suvirudha Moolam. Now, how do we get rid of this Samsara? Asanga Shastrena Drudhena Chitva. This Kudhari is Shastra. What that Shastra? Asanga. You I remove my selfishness from it, become Asanga. It becomes non-issue to me. My sadhana, my joy is with me, is not outside. We have to do duty, our duty we must do, but not for appreciation of that person, but for our Guru. See, let us say Guru is there, our people in our life are also there. Who is more important? Guru is more important. And Guru doesn't say ignore your family members. Do your duty. See, what I try to do is try to please my family people first. What is easy? Who is easier to please? Lord or family people? Now you're just nodding your head, so I guess you know the answer. So we try to, we people with a family people are so expert. We give something wrong thing to wrong person. Bhagwan doesn't care about what particular work we do. That we do it for Bhagwan. We do cleaning, come here in ashram and clean, cooking everywhere. But at home, you will not cook. I don't know why. I'm just giving an example, not here. You won't clean utensils in your home, but do it here. अरे घर में करो ना पहले. Lord doesn't need, but we this to Lord. And then we want to please people in the home. No, it's not possible. We'll do our duty, we must do, because it is God's work. Unless I fulfill my duty, my mind will not be quiet. That I must do. Only then I can meditate. If I fulfill my duties towards my family people, office job, everywhere, I must do it. But because why? Because Lord will be pleased that he is doing his duty correctly. And then you become Asanga. Asanga Shastrena Drudena Chitva. So Rajakumari, Giri Rajakumari, listen to this Harikatha. Asanija Rudaya Vichari Taju Samshaya Bhajuram Pada. This is Sortha. Sunugiri Rajakumari भ्रमतम रवि कर बचन मम. My bhashana, my words are like sun rays. They'll get rid of your ignorance. But he is telling how to taju samshaya, how to get rid of, indirectly, Shankar Bhagwan is telling, giving advice to us, how to get rid of doubts in our mind. Taju samshaya. How so? Hmm. By thinking in our mind. Hridaya vichari. So after listening to pravachan from Swamiji or whosoever or reading a book, I must close the book and think in my heart. Do the contemplation. I was talking to somebody that after the talk, we must close it and think for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Try to think what is told in the pravachan. Even if you contemplate on 2 or 3 points, they will stay with us. Asanija Rudhaya Vichari. That is the method by which Taju Samshaya Bhaju Ramanupada. This is how Asanija Rudhaya Vichari, by doing the Ramapada. By being lean with Rama's feet, we must do by thinking, by convincing my intellect. That is the way to the our samshaya. Okay. Now let us see the chopais from 55. We still have 15 more minutes. Okay.
सगु नहीं अगु नहीं नहीं कछु भेदा गावही मुनि पुराण सुर वेदा अगुण रूप अलख अज जोई भगत प्रेम बस सगुन जोई जो गुण रहित सगुन सोई जैसे जलु हिमऊ पल बिलग नहीं जैसे जासु नाम भ्रमति मीर पतंगा तेहि किमि कही विमोह प्रसंगा राम सच्चिदानंद विवेका नहीं तह मोह निसाल वसेसा सहज प्रकाश रूप भगवाना नहीं तह भूलि हर्ष विषाद ज्ञान अज्ञाना जीव धर्म अहमिति अभिमाना राम ब्रह्म व्यापक जग जाना परमानंद परेश पुराना पुरुष प्रसिद्ध प्रकाश निधि प्रगट परावर नाथ रघुकुल मणि मम स्वामी सोई कही शिवनाय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संग
सगुन ही अगुण ही nahi kachu bhedan. See, in saguna and aguna, there is no difference. And that is what is gavahi, sung, happily declared by Muni. Manana Shilaha, that which does lot of mananam, think in their heart, Purana or Puranas. Purana, there is a, etymologically says Pura api nava. Although it is old, it is still new. That is what is Puran. Puran doesn't mean old. Pura api nava. It is called Puran. Buddha Veda. Those thinkers and of course our Vedas declare. What do they declare? Saguna, aguna. There is no difference. How do you say so? Saguna, aguna nahi Veda. You see, something to think of. One is attributeless. There are no qualities. Has no form, formless is Brahman. Nirguna Nirakar, that Brahman, absolute reality is attributeless, formless. Okay. But then the same reality is formless only, but with attributes. Formless, but with attributes. That is called as Saguna Niraka. There are religions which accept this as a one form of law. That is like wind blowing. That wind, that power is there. We see the power. We see that their guna we see, but we don't see their form. This is one form of like Navavidhan, one sect in Bengal. Uh, Keshav Chandra Sen, maybe some of you have heard the name. He started this accepts this. Islam accepts this. Christianity says they say the Bhagwan is no form, but it has guna. It is make things possible. That Shakti is there. And then, but then the Vedanta asks them a question. We are not here to debate. We are just trying to understand the principle. If you have a power, there must be someone beholding the power, right? See, if someone said, Arvind, you don't come to listen to give us the pravachan. You just send your power of telling the pravachan. You just send that power. You don't come. So I also tell that person, you also send your just power of listening. You don't come. No, would the transaction be complete? No. See, you can say that, oh, Arvind, I cannot read the Chopai today, but I have forgotten my glasses home. But can you say I've forgotten to bring power of seeing at home? It is with you all the time. That power to read is with you all the time or not? Yeah, somebody has the reading power, listening, thinking, speaking. There must be a beholder of that power. So that form with attributes and with form is Saguna Sakar. So these three levels are there. I'll give you one exercise, thinking exercise. Now we are really nearing the dinner time. Are you hungry right now? Hungry? Yeah. Is your hunger, show me your hunger. Is it Saguna or Nirguna? Is with form or without form? Without form. So if your hunger is without form, why you eat chapati which has a form? Why do you eat chapati which has a form? And your hunger is nirguna, nirakara. Now the chapati is saguna or nirguna? Saguna. Sakara. Right? It is. Now you eat that chapati. Now that power that chapati gave you, that is saguna or nirguna? That is with form or without form? Without form, but saguna. We can use it the way we want, isn't it? So this always goes on. It is something, there's some unlearning we have to do in Vedanta when we come. There is no difference between saguna and nir, truly speaking. When we are, another example to think, when you are in deep sleep, what are you? Saguna or nirguna? In deep sleep. Suppose we go to see doctor in home. Say, hey, is doctor home? I'm sick. Is doctor home? Yes, doctor is home, but you can't do any business with him. Why? He's snoring. He's snoring, you can listen, but he won't be able to. His body is there, he's alive, but he's not alive. Saguna or nirguna? If you ask him, he doesn't know anything. But that same person, when you get up, as soon as I get up, I say coffee, tea, all those things start. How come? Saguna. Vikpan is Saguna. So there is no difference. Our thinking pattern, our profile may be knowledge oriented or emotion oriented. That is accepted. Okay. But there is no that predominantly thinking type, predominantly emotional type, temperamental type, whatever you want to call it. One lady was talking to Swamiji. And Swamiji said, Swamiji, you're sitting next to her. They're all talking. Just said, he is very temperamental. Tell him something. So Swamiji says, what do you mean by temperamental? He said, 50% temper, 50% mental. That is my husband. You advise him something. So, means what? Angry means what? By emotions, you must act something. Emotion come, not ready to think. Anyway, so there is no difference. Now let us see some more. We'll just see it. So that is called avatar. The gunani. Sakar is avatar. There is no technically difference between these two, Saguna and Nirguna. Okay. Now that Bhagwan, which is Aguna, Rupa, Alakha, Lakha, Lakshana, cannot be indicated. See, if I ask you, where is space? Space is the nearest we can get to Nirguna. So he says space is here or in the sky. Where is it? Everywhere. Even in my nostrils, there is space or not. The space is there. In my our stomach is space is there. Space is everywhere. Aguna. So but we cannot indicate it. Alakha. Lakshana. Aja means which has not born. That same Joey, we see the Joey, so hoi. So that is happens with Bhagata Prema Basa Saguna, so hoi. That same thing, Joey, so hoi, that same Aguna becomes Saguna. How so? Because of devotee's love. Because of devotee's love, he becomes Aguna to Saguna. Now, how so is our homework. Think. Think on it. How so? Okay? Ready? You have any thoughts? You can somebody wants to share? Because this is again deep topics, the next topic starting. I know I understand today's topic was a little heavy of Saguna, Nirguna, topic of existence, Sat Chit Ananda. But once we click it, there's such a joy. There's such a joy. When we getting frustrated with our family members or someone, then suddenly we say, hey Arvind, who are you trying to please? Are you trying to please Bhagwan or are you trying to please these people? Okay. Bhagwan, sorry. Then all of a sudden tension become tension free. That becomes no more issue. See, we are so much saying conditions our this person at this place at this time and such moment should look at me and smile. Only then I am happy. Now, very difficult, isn't it? That person may have smiled after I left. Doesn't matter. But why? Why so many conditions? That this person must smile in front of me and okay, then that is a guaranteed way to become unhappy. But once our thinking goes in this line, Saguna, Niguna, though, I am also same thing. I am the same power by which the happiness is with me. I understand my existence. So in Vedanta says that Sat, Chit and Ananda are all together all the time. So then if I'm existing, then I must be conscious. I must be happy. I'm looking at the wrong place. Okay. Let's think. Meditation becomes fun. See, most of the time meditation is they say someone was telling it's like a soccer match. The ball doesn't come to me. The ball goes somebody else is kicking. But then with these ideas, we become the driver with these ideas. They're all contemplative ideas. Think something to think upon. We'll see it next time. Okay? All right. Chant the ending prayer and then we'll stop. ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Now